Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Speaking of Zane, June the 18th. Can you believe it already? June the 18th, over halfway through June. We have had fantastic weather here in Atlanta. It has not been humid yet, just the right amount of rain, just the right amount of sun. Very comfortable. I know I'm jinxing us, but what a fantastic June it has been so far. This is the 234th edition of Speaking of Zane. We skipped last week because this old man forgot. Uh, I don't know what the deal was. Sat Sunday. I just got so busy. I just absolutely ran out of time. And then Monday night, which is not a normal night, it just slipped. And oh well, here we are. A couple of weeks later. We've skipped weeks before, and that is okay. But good to have everybody in here. So let's see who we've got. We've got Lori in there. We got Steve Shirley. Daryl's in there. Ken's in there. Aunt Paula is in there. Aunt Paula, Carl and Peggy are in there. Jimbo Miller. Yeah, Carl and Peggy are on a road trip. They're down in Mobile, Alabama. And I believe they are heading to Savannah tomorrow. Carl, I'm still waiting to hear from my buddy. See if I can get you on the B-17. Otherwise, you just have to peek in. If you peek in the right or the starboard tail, the starboard waist gunner section, you can see into the radio compartment. All right, Doc Collier's in there. Hello, Doc. Happy Father's Day to you. He's up in Nashville, but went to school in Georgia. Went to medical school. Went to UGA for school, and then went to Medical College of Georgia, I think, in Augusta. Did my friend JT Collier there. All right, let's see. I think I've got everybody accounted for. All right, well, I know we have people watch that don't always put in the chat, and we'll have some people joining along the way. We always have people watching the replay and watching the YouTube channel. But let's see what the heck we have been doing here at the fabulous McDonald Estate and Insane Asylum. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I don't know if you guys remember in the military, I've heard a lot of people say, Happy Father's Day to all you mothers. And but it is Father's Day. I've had a good Father's Day. I got to watch the entire Braves game this afternoon. I got to go on a long walk this afternoon. All my kids reached out to me. Hannah, Jackson, Tyler, Charlotte. And Lori has something special for me, but as she always does, she's the goddess of gifts. She is the best at personalized gifts. Well, she got a gift for me, and evidently all the components of it aren't here yet, and she apologized profusely. I'm not a gift guy, so you don't have to apologize to me, but she assures me it will be worth the wait. But I've had a really good day. Like I said, I slept in. I got a really good walk in today. I cooked a couple Cornish game hens in the crock pot. That was good. And I watched the Braves game. And that's been fantastic. All right, let's see. Katie Aaron's in there. Hey, Katie, I understand Matt is home. Came home a day early. Matt's been off on some National Guard training, his annual 2 weeks, and came home early. So that's good. Hey, Matt's in there now. I saw you got a new grill there. Looked fantastic. All of the meat you had on there. That's awesome. Let's see. I did a little grilling. Was it Lori last week when Lori's sister Cindy was here for almost a week? The better part of a week. Lori's sister Cindy was here. She's always a hoot. I mean, I wish she could just live here. She's just fantastic sister-in-law. But we had a really good time. She helped Lori do some cleanup around the house, some organizing, and we did some grilling while she was here. But that was a lot of fun. Jonathan Peters is in there. Hey, pal, how you doing? All right, good to have everybody in here today for Speaking of Zane. Well, let's see, what else? So that was a good Father's Day here. I hope you all have had a good Father's Day as well. Zane got to be a father for about 4 years, and he was a good father, boy. He loved that little guy, Colton. And Colton, I think I was mentioning a few weeks ago, Colton had expressed to Lori, his Grammy, this sudden interest in knowing more about his dad. Now, he has an awesome new dad, Will, who's in the Navy, and he's fantastic. But he has this curiosity about his dad, who, he was only 4 when his dad passed. So his memory, he really did, you think about when you were 4, right? But and then Paisley was, I think Paisley was less than a year maybe. But anyway, he so Zane got to experience being a father. I wish he could see his kids grow up, but that is the way it is. But we have so many pictures of Zane, with Colton, his firstborn, and our first grandchild. So you tend to photograph them more, and it's just we have so many of those. Uh-oh, look out, Matt. Yeah, Steve's got a few years on you, Matt, so he might know what he's talking about a little bit there, buddy. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I'm glad she surprised you with that. That's good stuff. All right. Well, let's see. Speaking of my daughter Charlotte, remember she's the one. She went to Georgia Southern. She went to Texas A&M for grad school. She went to the FBI Academy, got stationed in Seattle, went to work at Facebook. Now she got recruited, and now she's going to work for United Airlines, which turns out to be a windfall for Lori and I, because we we can fly on United now at no cost. It's a standby. It's an employee standby, but anyway, it's kind of fun. But anyway, so Charlotte, they wanted to move to Chicago, so Charlotte is moving to Chicago, and over this last week, she struck out. Her and one of her best friends, Helen from high school. Helen flew in, and they got a car, and they drove from Seattle to Chicago, and she chronicled her story every day. At the end of the day, she would tell me where she was at and what they were doing. And she says, "Boy, Montana sure is big." And I said, "Yeah." And so they ended up staying in Montana. They stayed in Bismarck, North Dakota. They stayed in the Wisconsin Dells. And then they made it to Chicago today. And she sent me a picture of where else? Wrigley Field. She's my baseball buddy. She's never been to Wrigley, but now she lives within walking distance of Wrigley. She had to drive right by Wrigley to get to her apartment today. So she's I know they had a good trip. It took them about 3 days or so to get there. And she had a birthday this week. Charlotte did. 28, my baby girl, 28 years old. Charlotte is. We call her Charlie Barley, when she was a little girl. But excited for her. She absolutely is loving what she's going to be doing with United she's sort of a global threat analyst, right in alignment with everything she learned at the Bush School of Government and at the FBI Academy. And she's already been to Montreal. She's got a trip scheduled for Australia. She's going to Ghana. She's got all these trips already for work scheduled, and it'll be a lot of fun to watch what she does there. Well, let's see. There's my Aunt Mary. Hey, Aunt Mary. Speaking of Aunt Mary, her son Toby is my cousin, and he's probably the biggest Braves fan that I know. And he lives 3 hours south of Atlanta, but he goes to the game quite a bit. He's a single guy, and he can move and run, travel, and all this stuff. But anyway, so I'm at the game Thursday night with some colleagues from work, and I posted that I was at the game. Of course, I'm a big Facebooker, and then I get a text from Toby. "Hey, where are you at?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm at the game." He says, "No, where are you at?" And I told him I was in this restaurant in the Battery. And next thing I know, he's right over my shoulder. I'm like, "What the heck?" He said, "Yeah, I was up here playing golf today, and I decided to take in the game." And there he was. So then all my colleagues from work showed up. We had some extra tickets, so Toby hung out with us all night. And Yeah, he's when it comes to the Braves, he's like a 30. I don't know, Lori. How old is Toby? 36 or 37. He's like he's like um, a little boy when it comes to the Braves. And anyway, it was great to spend some time with him there and have him join us, a bunch of old technology geeks there. But we had a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. I mentioned Lori's sister was here. She flew home. Boy, speaking of the Braves, I don't know if you guys have been following baseball, but the that was a 4-game sweep of the Rockies. And not only a 4-game sweep, but I mean, mightily, I mean, double digit runs on almost every game. But the Braves are doing great. Best record in the National League, maybe in baseball. I mean, the Tampa Bay got off to such a great start. I haven't looked, but anyway, it's always fun when your team is winning. Faux show. Okay, let's see what else we got going here. Steve's on here tonight. So Steve, Amy, Linda, and some others, Carrie, and some others that are Air Force buddies of mine. They had a ball yesterday, I'm told, at the Testicle Festival in up there near Omaha, Nebraska. And I saw some pictures that were proof that they had a ball there at the Testicle Festival. Man, I wish I could have come up there for that. I'm going to have to plan that sometime. But Lori, would you go up there with me to the Testicle Festival? But yeah, it looks like you had a good time. It's so great to see all these people that we served together 20, 30, almost 40 years ago now, still staying in touch. And a lot of them live in the Omaha area. So I'm glad you guys got together, Steve. Let's see. I got some birthdays. I mentioned my daughter, Matt, you're in for the Testicle Festival. Okay, well, let's do it. Charlotte's birthday. My cousin Cindy, who's also a cousin of Toby. It's her birthday today or yesterday. Okay, Steve. It is, Ken. It sure is. Okay, let's see. And then yesterday, I know she doesn't always put in the chat here, but she often is here with us as one of Lori's good friends, Kathy Cobb. It was her birthday yesterday, and she's quite the entertainer. And we had she has a lot of gatherings, probably once a quarter at least, at her house, her and Gordon, and we always go and have a fantastic time. But Lori and Kathy and all of her friends are big fans of a program called Outlander. Anybody ever heard of Outlander? Anyway, they follow it religiously, and evidently last night was first episode of the season or something. I don't know. We were out smoking cigars, the men, but anyway, we gathered at Kathy's house and had a good time there. And it was because evidently this season of Outlander has something to do with the Revolutionary War period. It was an American flag themed gathering. So it was kind of fun, of course. And Kathy's absolutely a patriot, and as is Lori. And Lori gave a very nice history of the American flag as we were all hanging out and the beautiful weather, having cigars and waiting for the ladies waiting for Outlander to start. Lori gave a history of the American flag, which was great. Okay, well, let's see what else we got going here. Heading back to St. Louis this week. Speaking of the flag, see the segue there? Speaking of the flag, and I've dropped some hints on the hat of the week. So Ken and Daryl and Steve, you guys usually compete with one another. Last night was an American flag Revolutionary War themed gathering at Kathy's house. And I'm heading back to St. Louis this week for work. I'm actually on a panel. I'm a guest on a panel talking about pathways into tech and things like that. And while I'm there, we're going to be doing another American flag retirement ceremony. at one of our offices there, like I did back in April. And I posted a link in the Speaking of Zane Facebook group today. So if you want to see what that's like, we're going to do that again at another location. And it's fantastic. 8, 9, 10 veterans. And we do the flag lowering and the folding and the handing and the raising and the national anthem. It's just fantastic. Our company's never done anything like this, and it's just been fantastic. We're doing it again this week, so keep your eyes open for that. So I'm heading to St. Louis Wednesday. Daryl, the flag thing will be on Thursday at 1:30 Central. So Daryl came to the last one, and I've invited him to come again. So Daryl, it'll be on Thursday this time, not the Friday. I've got to come home Friday. I'm on this panel at this panel in Maryland Heights on Friday, but I'm going home Friday afternoon. But that'll be fun. So I'll tell you guys all about that next week. And then I got some more travel coming up. Heading to London to our UK office, actually, the week of July 10th, I think it is. Week of July 10th, I'll be there helping sort of get some things started there that I've got started here and folding things in. And I won't have much time for fun. It's going to be 5 full days in the office there, but I'll have some other trips maybe later this year. And then back to St. Louis, August 1st through 4th. And I'm graduating my next class of engineers. So they've been with me for a year now. And they're graduating on August 3rd. So I'm bringing them all in from all over the country and having a ceremony on August the 3rd. So I'll be back in St. Louis then. And then the next week, this is the plan so far right now. I've got nothing to do at work. And Lori and I are driving to frickin' Maine. Yeah, it's like, I don't know how far it is up there, but we're going. And it's going to be, I think August 6th, 7th, something like that. We're going to head up there. And then I've got 2 weeks to play with. So we're going to hit some things on the way back, depending on when the kids will be there. How much do we go straight there? Do we do some things on the way? I don't know. One thing we definitely want to do is Arlington. Lori's never been to Arlington. And we got some other things that we want to do on the way. Boston, maybe we'll do the, the Freedom Trail in Boston. But anyway, okay. And then, boom, we'll be halfway through August, moving into September by then. All right, let's see. Okay, Jonathan. Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. Lori's a little more in tune with Johnny than I am. So let's find out, Lori, where Johnny's at. So Jonathan, hang on a second. I'll tell you exactly where we're going. Where we're going. Let's see. It's close. It's on the Maine, New Hampshire border. I'll tell you, it's York, Maine is where we're going. York, Maine. I haven't even looked it up on the map yet, but I know it's New Hampshire, Maine-ish. So we will see how that goes. Yeah, I saw that, Lori. Yeah, John. I don't know if you knew that, Jonathan, but Johnny Evol was at Fenway watching the ball game today. All right. Well, good. Well, maybe we can connect, Jonathan, you and Lori and I, you and Johnny Evol. That would be awesome for sure. There's my Aunt Cindy. Hey, Aunt Cindy. Glad to have you in there. Aunt Cindy's over in Alabama. All right. Well, let's see what else we got going. So that's it for the travel. How about a weight loss update? Oh, my goodness. Do I have a weight loss update? All right. So, Jonathan, you hadn't been with us. I know you drop in every now and then, but I've been on this weight loss challenge since January of 2022. And I am happy to report My total weight loss since January 11th of 2022 is now at 83 pounds. That's another 2 pounds since we were together again. And that got me across a threshold. I've had this challenge at work. That's how this whole thing started. We had this friendly competition at work. And oh yeah, let me tell you, Lori's lost like 30 pounds in the last few weeks or something like that. But she knows exactly how to do it, and she does a great job when she sets her mind to it. But yeah, she's just boom, 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 knocking it out. But yeah, so we had this challenge at work. That's how the whole thing got started. And then there was another challenge that came April, I think it was April 1st. And the challenge, and this is all at work, right? And the challenge was to lose 6% of your body weight. And you had like from April to June 24th, there's this window. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's what I need. That's what got me going the first time was friendly competition and the fact that I cannot let any of these little snot-nosed brats beat me. And they haven't so far. So we did another challenge and I said, man, how can I do? The challenge was to lose not a particular amount of weight, not a particular number of pounds, but to lose 6% of your starting weight. So you weigh in and then you weigh out. It was April, all of May, most of June. So it's almost 3 months you have in the window. And then, so anyway, we're down to a week. We have a week next Friday, or I'm sorry, next Saturday is when we're supposed to weigh out, or the last day that you can weigh out. There's a weigh out window. Anyway, so yesterday, I did yard work, which always sheds a couple pounds for me. I did yard work. I did a good walk. My fast, I had like a 24-hour fast before that. And so it worked out that after I did the yard work, I was below the 6%. And so I went and weighed. And you have to video your weight and you have to video the scale. You have to do all this stuff so it's legit. And I was below the 6%. And so I went ahead and weighed out a week early. Because your weight fluctuates, and I'm like, I want to, as soon as I get below the 6, I'm going to weigh out and lock it in because what's at stake is a $5,000 pot. So anybody who achieves the 6% weight loss splits the pot. So anyway, we'll see how many people did it. We got another week and then another week after that until they announce the winners. But anyway, so 83 pounds. Now, Lori asked me, well, how much more do you want to lose? And I don't know. But now that I'm at 83 pounds lost, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be kind of cool to say you've lost 90 pounds? And that's only 7 more pounds. Or actually, that's less than that. Let's see. To get to 90 pounds lost, I only need to lose, 7 more pounds. Geez, anybody can do that. So we'll see how it goes. But she thinks I probably ought to be in the maintenance mode now, which is cool with me because I just eat meat anyway. So it's not like I'm going to start eating donuts or anything tomorrow. But yep. Yeah, Lori's going to do better than I did. So we'll see how things go. Okay, well, let's see. Oh, my dad's in there. Hey, Dad, Mac Marine. They took a little trip. My dad, my sister, and my sister's granddaughter, LJ, took a little trip over to St. Augustine. And they have been there all weekend, and they are still there. I think they're coming home tomorrow. But good to have you in there, Dad. And let's see. Lori, it may take more than the 90. It may take more than the 90 to get back in that flight suit, but it's right there in front of me. You guys can't see it, but the flight suit is hanging up over there. And I'm going to tell you, Steve Shirley, if I could ever get back in that flight suit, buddy, wow, that would be a sight. Okay. let's see. So Dad's in there. Dad, how long are you guys going to be over there in St. Augustine? I don't know how far a drive it is. Maybe 3 hours for them to get over there. But Ken, you know it, buddy. I mean, I might be busting out like a can of biscuits at the moment, but we'll see how things go. All right. So anybody pick up on the hat of the week? Hat of the week. Hat of the week. There you go. The colonial city of Williamsburg. How about that? So Outlander has something to do with the Revolutionary War, I'm told. We had an American flag themed gathering at Kathy's house. And this is a hat that Lori brought me back from Colonial Williamsburg a few months ago when they took a trip up there. So that is the hat of the week. Hat of the week always has something to do with what the heck is going on around here at the fabulous McDonald Estate and Insane Asylum. So that is the hat of the week. Okay, let's move along to our This Week in Military History. We have some really good This Week in Military History items, starting all the way back in 1775. In fact, on June the 14th, happy birthday, United States Army. Do we have any Army pukes in here? Sorry, Jonathan and Matt, Aaron, but happy birthday to you both. 200 and what is it? 238, 48? I don't remember, but it was June 14th of 1775. The only branch that's older is the National Guard. I can't remember when their birthday is, but I have it on my calendar. And then, like Lori says in the chat there, on the same day, June the 14th, is Flag Day, which dovetailed very nicely to what we did at Kathy's house last night and Lori's story about the flag and everything. So that worked out real well, having Flag Day. Let me take that off and put that back. Take that off. No, let's take. Nope, I didn't want that either. Let's hide that and then let that. There we go. I'm having trouble with my banners today. Okay, yeah. So we had Flag Day this past week, and we fly a flag. We fly a flag every day. My dad flies a flag. My dad's got a nice flagpole in his yard now. Let's see what else. Okay, so June 6th. So we missed a week, so we should have reported this last week. But June 6th of 1944, D-Day. We talked about it on Speaking of Zane Facebook group. But D-Day, wow, what an incredible effort that was. Really, that led to the end. VE Day, Victory in Europe Day. It took that invasion, Operation Overlord, for everything that happened after that to come to pass. But so D-Day, June 6th, 1944. And I have a friend, which is kind of coincidental here. I'm wearing my City of Savannah, B-17 City of Savannah shirt. And I have a friend, Jerry McLaughlin. And Jerry is an Army vet, and Jerry was a CIA vet, and Jerry retired some number of years ago and moved to Savannah and took on this effort to be the project manager for the restoration of this B-17 that we have in the museum there. And Jerry's uncle, Joe, was killed on D-Day. He was a navigator on C-47s and was killed that day. And the family didn't always know all the details and everything. Well, Jerry, 20, 25 years ago, maybe 30, put in all the research, traveled over there, compiled everything he could find out about his dad and the unit and the actual occurrence of his death and everything, and wrote a very nice book. And I feel fortunate to have a signed copy of it. If anybody wants to know about that book, let me know. But it's a fabulous account of his uncle's experience on that day and everything that Jerry was able to uncover about his uncle. And just a fascinating story. I'll always treasure that book. So that was D-Day. And then let's see. Fast forward. I got this from Steve Shirley. Fast forward to June 12th of 1987. Do you remember where you were in June of 1987? Let me pause there. Lori says our entire house is Flag Day. Well, I gotta say that is true. If you saw the entrance to our house, the front, and it's not gaudy. It's very classy, but you can tell that Americans live here. Let me just put it that way. But let's see. Let me look at the chat here. I got to check the chat every now and then to make sure I'm adapting to the conversation. Okay, let's see. So, yeah, so, okay, Matt took my question literally there. Matt remembers where he was at, crawling around somewhere in diapers. Yeah, Zane wasn't even born yet. Zane was 89. But in June 12th, 87, a number of us remember this. As he stood at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, U.S. President Ronald Reagan famously entreated the Soviet leader, Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. And so it came to pass. So Lori and I were in England when he did that over in Berlin, and things began to accelerate there, and then finally culminated in the fall of the Soviet Union and the wall and everything later on after we got back to the States in the early 90s. But thank you, Steve, for passing on that military history item. Okay, well, let's see. Let's move on to our challenges here. I'm running a little bit longer than I normally do. But we had let's see, we had some cemetery visits in our cemetery, veteran cemetery challenge. Daryl made at least one visit to Jefferson Barracks. Daryl was headed out there today, but I understand it was raining pretty bad in St. Louis. And of course, Dad has made it to Evergreen. Jim Miller, I don't know if Jim's with us tonight, but Jim made a visit to St. John's where he sees his wife, Deb, his father-in-law, who's a vet, and a number of other veterans there. And he stopped by Omaha National on his way home to see Todd Vanderwerken, Corporal David Page, and Roy Walton. And then Lori made a visit to see Zane with her sister Cindy before she flew back home. And I think that's it for the cemetery visits. But if I add that up, I think we were at 5 visits. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I know of. So we're at about 848. Oh, Hannah went too. Okay. We're at about 843 visits since we started tracking our cemetery visits. So thank you guys for playing along with us there. That's an awesome thing, I think, that we do, purposefully visit the cemeteries. And we hate that we have people to visit there, but boy, if you were there, wouldn't you want someone to visit? And you guys do a great job, and I, for one, appreciate it. And thank a vet. We had some thank a vets. Now, whenever we have a 2-week gap go by, sometimes I forget my own thank yous, and I forget to chronicle some others that I've known about. But this is what I know about, and it's respectable. So Jimbo had 2 Air Force folks he thanked. Aunt Paula had a Marine, 2 firefighters, and an Army vet. My dad, or Ken, had 2 Marines, an Army vet, and 3 Air Force over this past 2 weeks. And let's see, my dad had a Navy vet there in St. Augustine, and an Army and an Air Force vet at Lowe's back home in Fitzgerald. And then I had one this week. I had a Marine Corps veteran that reached out to me. He knows that I sort of lead this effort at work with our veterans organization, and he reached out to me and said, "I'd love to have a chat with you." He's only been out of the Marine Corps for about a year, and he's working for us as an engineer now. And he's wanting to get someone to help mentor him in his post-military journey, and he's wanting to help mentor others behind him. And anyways, we had a good chat. His name's Michael. He lives in Sneads Ferry, North Carolina. So he got out of the Marine Corps on a Friday and came to work with us on a Monday kind of thing. But seems like a swell guy. So I met him. So if I add up all of the thank yous or veteran meetups, whatever you want to call them, and I'm not even counting the fact that Steve and Amy and Bruce and Carrie and all of them were together. These are just the ones outside of that. I think I'm at 15 for the week or the last 2 weeks. So we're up at 2,157 times somebody has heard thank you or I appreciate you or hey, what the heck did you do in the military? And that's outstanding, actually. And that's all happened in a relatively short period of time, less than 4 years. We've been doing Speak the Zane for 5. We didn't start doing the thank yous until a year, maybe 2 later. And now, I don't know, it's kind of part of my regular routine now. I'm on the lookout and hypersensitive, obviously, to other vets. And you always have something in common to talk about. But good stuff. Okay, well, let's see. Moving on to organizations. Let me see what we have to report. Okay, I do have something to report. Let me find it here. I understand that the race bibs for the Running to Honor 5K are ready. Let me show you what they look like here. That race is, here we go. That race is last Saturday in July. That's all I remember. Last Saturday in July, I think it is. Let me share what the race bibs are, and I'll tell you why. Share screen. Right there we go. Okay. There you go. Yeah, there's the race bib. So, you've been to like a race, right? And the runners wear a number, right? You pin the number on. And, well, on the back of it, on the back of the race logo and your number on the back is a list of those that we're honoring. Honor Our Fallen is the list. And and I think we're going to do this year, Lori, here in Georgia. So remind me of this. What Aaron does up in Michigan is before they start the race, they read all the names on the back. They read the names of those that they're honoring for the race. I don't know if you can notice or not, but there's a young man. Let me find. Yeah, if you look on the third column, most of the way to the bottom in the M's, you'll see a young man there called McDonald. So even though Zane is not from Michigan, Aaron has put Zane on the Honor Our Fallen race bib. So thank you, AA Ron. You're a good man. So we'll get our race bibs in the mail. But I just thought that was kind of cool to point out. So looking forward to that. And this time, before we start our race, our run walk here in Georgia, we'll read the names on the back this year. So Lori, Dad, y'all remind me to do that. That'll be fun. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. I want to call out. Yeah, Lori says she's walking this year. Lori has walked with us in the past, but she's had some health issues that have kept her from really walking very much. She's got some lung problems going. But anyway, she says she's going to walk with us, so we'll see how things go there. But so let's see, what was I saying about that? Lori posted this this past week and got a really nice response from our friend Linda about vet ticks. I don't know if you guys put in the chat if you know about vet ticks, VETTIX. It's an organization that brokers these free tickets for veterans to events, concerts, sporting events, etc. Um, but Linda happens to be, her and her husband Chico, they happen to be the ones that I know that have used VetTix more than anybody in the entire world. And it's fantastic. I have once, and I went to a concert in Birmingham, and it was Daryl Hall, Hall and Oates, Daryl Hall and John Oates, and it was I had a bunch of people from work, and I got some tickets through VetTix. But yeah, look them up, VetTix. I'm going to start doing that more, like Linda does, and see. But yeah, it's fantastic. So I'm glad Lori stumbled on that, got Linda's response. I talked to Linda about it when I was up there in Omaha for Roy's funeral, and she's it was a work trip, Lori. I was there for work in the middle of the week. All right, let's see. What else? What else? My Warriors Place. I think I mentioned this last time. Yeah, I did mention this last time. And then I think there's going to be some more information on this, but Kelly is hosting the 13 families whose loved one was killed in the withdrawal from Afghanistan. She's hosting them at My Warriors Place for the second anniversary, which happens to be August 26th. And more information about that to come. I need to look at her website and see if there's anything new on there. But that's going to be a collaboration between My Warriors Place and the Corporal Dagan Page Foundation. And the way they know each other now is through our veterans organization at work, because I had them both on as guests for Memorial Day. So it'd be kind of cool to see that come to fruition. Okay. I think that is it for Speaking of Zane, everything I wanted to cover. But man, I sure do appreciate you guys showing up here. And sorry about missing last week, but you guys, usually I try to get a note out if I'm going to miss for some reason. But good to have you all in here tonight. And be sure during the week, if you see a veteran or come across a veteran, tell them thanks. Find out about them, strike up a conversation. You never know what it might do to boost somebody's confidence. And let us know about it. All right, everybody. Well, have a great week. I will be anxious to report to you how the flag retirement ceremony went this week. I'll try to do the same thing I did last time and get it recorded and post a recording of it so you can see cool stuff some people are doing in the country. We have a lot of people that don't care about this country anymore, but not this group. This group cares about this country for sure. And I appreciate every one of you. All right. Well, have a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next Sunday night right here for Speaking of Zane.